In a move completely without precedent, fans of a popular video game franchise have begun wildly theorizing over a tweet from a developer. Hey folks, this is Riker with a gaming news wrap-up video where we discuss the happenings of the week. This week's topics include a potential new clue about the upcoming Elder Scrolls game, the reveal of the new Path of Exile expansion, a popular Diablo 2 mod adding Diablo 3's treasure goblins into the game, and more. As always, discussion timestamps can be found in the video description below, but right before you skip ahead, just a quick reminder to ring that sub notification bell to be alerted to new Saturday episodes and stay up to date with gaming news highlights. Now, before we move on, just a quick word from this video's sponsor, NordVPN. Not only is a VPN an important tool for keeping your data secure on the internet, but it's also your best way to get around region-blocked content. A lot of raiders in our community have been expressing lately that they use NordVPN to be able to watch their favorite shows that are no longer available for viewing in their countries or never were. NordVPN has thousands of servers in over 60 countries, and it's so user-friendly that you're basically one click away from masking your IP or browsing the web from a different country. Plus, you can try NordVPN risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And right now, you can get a 2-year plan at a huge discount plus 1 free month if you go to nordvpn.com/Riker and use code Riker. That's nordvpn.com/RHYKKER to start seeing what region-blocked content you're missing out on. In our first story, on December 31st, the official Elder Scrolls Twitter account tweeted this message: "Transcribe the past and map the future. Here's to a happy new year." And attached is a very thematic image. Now, this can very much be nothing but a happy new year's wish, but fans wouldn't be fans if they weren't looking for clues hidden within. Transcribe the past and map the future can be interpreted to mean, look at this image, find what hints are pointing towards games that are already released, and then deduce the hint that points to the Elder Scrolls 6. The image depicts a map of Skyrim. This map was released with the game Skyrim almost a decade ago. We also see 3 candles glowing very brightly. The topmost one is sitting on a book with coins beside it, and both the book and the coins came from the Elder Scrolls Online. The second candle is on the map of Skyrim, specifically within the province of Skyrim, and the third candle at the bottom of the image lies still on the map, but outside of the borders of Skyrim and within Hammerfell. So one potential interpretation of this is that the top 2 candles are mapping the past, the Elder Scrolls Online, which chronologically takes place in the distant past, then Skyrim, and therefore Hammerfell will be the setting of the next Elder Scrolls game. And this coincides nicely with the original teaser trailer for the Elder Scrolls 6 shown in 2018, which presented a rocky landscape that is reminiscent to how Hammerfell has been described in the game's lore. Or, you know, it just means Happy New Year. On to some World of Warcraft news, starting with some sad news. A member of the community named Jarod Nandin, the self-proclaimed South Park guy cosplayer, has passed away. On December 18th, he tweeted, quote, "Wasn't sure I was gonna worry you guys, but things are now looking good. Went to the ER yesterday for chest pains. They suspect I have COVID. Test results not in yet. Feeling better after treatments. Again, things look good, so don't fret. We'll keep you all posted." On December 22nd, he tweeted, quote, "I tested positive for COVID. I'm really sorry, guys. Don't worry. I'll make it." On December 26th, he tweeted, quote, "Breathing complications arose. Treatment plan reevaluated. Working on it. Doing okay." On December 28th, he tweeted, "Breathing issues, still a problem. Oxygen saturation levels keep dropping below 90. They're trying to figure things out, waiting to know more." And then on January 3rd, it was reported that he passed away. Reports have since come in from people who knew him saying he was a good friend, a good person, and he loved the WoW community. I personally remember seeing him up on stage, not 50 feet away from him, in character, in cosplay, and I've been to several BlizzCons. I've seen so much cosplay, and that's by far one of the most memorable. Not just for the appearance, but how well he acted the part of the character from the popular South Park episode from so many years ago. He will certainly be remembered. In other World of Warcraft news, we're going to put up a spoiler warning because we're going to talk about a data mined cinematic. If you don't want a spoiler, pause the video, check the timestamps, and skip ahead to the next section. WoW had datamined a cinematic from the game files long before this event is live to players, and we can check this out on their YouTube channel, link to that in the video description. And this in-game cinematic features Sylvanas heavily and also Anduin. Now, for a long time now, I've been asking, are they going for a Sylvanas redemption arc? Are they trying to turn Sylvanas into a sympathetic character, try to get us to feel bad for her, and have her ultimately turn good in the end? And this cutscene cinematic very much suggests this is the direction they are going. Now let me start with the positives. I think these in-game rendered cutscenes are actually looking phenomenal. The amount of expression they're able to put on her face, the voice acting amongst all characters, just absolutely terrific. And I'll even say that seeing Anduin really portray that 18 charisma, quite literally wield his charisma as a weapon, well, not literally, figuratively wield his charisma as a weapon. That part was really cool as well. However, at least for me, I thought about halfway through things got really cringy. I don't think dialogue writing is Blizzard's strong suit, and I did find myself pretty much cringing throughout the second half of the video. But I turned the question to you folks. This is the perspective of someone who was a Warcraft fan. I played up to Warcraft 3. I've only dabbled in WoW, so I'm not a full WoW fan. So for those who are WoW fans or Warcraft fans or what have you, what are your thoughts if you've watched this leak? It does feel like Blizzard internally repeats themes across its games, its franchises. It feels like they're trying to pull a Kerrigan with Sylvanas, where they redeemed Kerrigan as well after she almost genocided the universe. And it almost seems like they want to pull an Arthas with Anduin now. But in what ways do you think the writers can actually surprise us and have a twist on the expected? Sound off in the comments. On to some Path of Exile news. This week saw the reveal of the new expansion and new league. The new league is called Ritual, and the expansion is Echoes of the Atlas. This expansion will feature reworks to many ascendancies, there'll be new skill gems, a huge update to the Atlas, 11 new maps, and much more. ARPG players love skill trees, and now each region of your Atlas will get its own passive tree. There's going to be a new boss to fight, the Maven. The Ritual League mechanic will have you run into ritual sites, which will consist of an altar surrounded by monsters, and will involve you having to fight waves of monsters that keep getting more difficult. Very thematically cool, very combat-oriented and action-packed. We'll also see the return of Harvest in a way that should address some of the concerns of Harvest. Instead of having to plant and manage your own sacred grove, you'll find portals to established gardens. So you just go there and the harvests are ready to go, and you'll have choices to make on what to craft and what threats to face. Heist will also be coming back with improvements. Contracts will only start dropping from Act 6. Rogues will level up their skills faster. You'll get more markers more easily, and the quest contracts will now drop as soon as they're available. January 15th is the launch of this next expansion. Are you folks excited? Were your predictions met? My predictions were completely wrong, but sound off in the comments with your thoughts. On to some Diablo news. Goblin season in the popular Diablo 2 mod Median Excel Sigma started yesterday. I have a full video talking about Median Excel Sigma, but in short, it's a total conversion mod for Diablo 2. It lets you experience the game in an entirely different way because so much is changed. The mod has been around for well over a decade, and now with this Goblin season, they're introducing pretty much all the Diablo 3 treasure goblins into their mod, including rainbow goblins. There will also be a staff of herding that can be crafted that provides a new spell called Rainbow Storm. In other news, the Diablo Immortal alpha ended this week. I posted a video with my preliminary thoughts on Immortal here on YouTube, and I can say that with a couple more weeks of playing the game, my thoughts remain largely the same as in that video. I always expected that Immortal would be a well-executed game. One thing I did not expect was how well I would adapt to the controls. I'm still significantly more accurate with a mouse and keyboard, but the controls are far more comfortable after prolonged play sessions than I expected. Without getting into spoilers, there was a moment on stream where I got to a point in the story where I was quite literally fangirling. Being someone who really is into the lore of Diablo, there was a moment in the story of Immortal I was pretty much squeeing. Oh my god, it's young Zoltan Cool! It's young Zoltan Cool! And Tal Rasha! Oh my god, we're gonna get to meet Tal Rasha. But overall, I enjoyed my play experience with Immortal and can see myself playing more in the future. In other news, the official Pluggy mod for Diablo 2, compatible with the latest D2 patch, has finally released, Pluggy 14. Now, Pluggy began as a mod whose primary purpose was to increase the stash size for Diablo 2 characters. But it grew and grew and grew over the years to include such functions as enabling ladder-only rune words outside of Battle.net, and tons of other tweaks and additions. It's nowhere close to the same scope of scale of a mod as Meet in Excel. It's really more of a quality of life convenience thing, and of course it doesn't run on closed Battle.net. And lastly, I'd like to call your attention to an image that Redditor Indelible Ennui put together that is a side-by-side comparison of the Barbarian as seen in Diablo 3, Diablo Immortal, and Diablo 4. Seeing them side by side like this really shows the jump in graphics technology from 2012 when Diablo 3 released to what's possible on mobile phones today with the Diablo Immortal Barbarian on the right. Immortal very much looks similar in graphical style to Diablo 3, so a Diablo 3 with more modern graphics would look very similar to what Immortal looks like. Whereas on the left, Diablo 4 has a completely different aesthetic. Much more realistic, much grittier, grimier. Just look, for instance, at the difference between the fur on the left and on the right. The fur on the right, very stylized. It looks good, but it doesn't look real at all. Whereas on the left, it's intended to look photorealistic. And that's gonna wrap up this week's video. But do be sure to have checked out last week's video, in which we discussed the new Titan Quest teaser. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube supporters for making these videos possible. If you like what you see on this channel and want to support the creation of more content, you can consider pledging on YouTube or Patreon and unlocking behind-the-scenes content, monthly virtual hangouts, and more. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, check out these other videos, and subscribe to join Riker's Raiders for more gaming content.